10, 9.
You want answers? I want the truth!
Get ready for two guys who can't handle the truth.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
But we can. Dave Palumbo, Chris Aceto. RxMuscle.com presents Heavy Muscle Radio. Watch out!
Welcome to another episode of Heavy Muscle Radio. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm joined, as always, by the technician, Chris Aceto, on this June 21st, 2020 evening. And Chris, we're back and better than ever here.
Yep, I get my business card. David says pro technician. That's actually my Mason's card.
Oh, your Freemason's card, or your Mason?
No, my Mason to do brickwork.
Oh, I thought you were a Freemason. I said I can't believe it. Chris,
gosh, and people would say, no wonder why he's such a CNN nut hugger, stuttering idiot.
There you go.
He's a Mason.
Yeah, Guy Sistino made a comment on Fuad Abiyad's podcast. They were talking about like people in the industry who are like, really aren't really like professionals or bodybuilders who compete and who just make a lot of money, by doing demonstration stuff and Instagram and YouTubes. And I don't know why he threw out there the fact that he goes, when I used to go over to Dave Palumbo's house back in the day, he had a business card that said pro bodybuilder on it. And it made it look like I was like trying to portray myself as like a police officer, like George Farrar did for 20 years, I said, I didn't even know it. Of course, all my cronies, told me, guys throwing aspersions at you and this and that. So, I'm really good friends with guys. So I call him up like, guy, what the fuck's going on with this? Because I listened to it. I said, it sounds like you took a cheap shot at me. He's like, no. He goes, I just saw it on one of your cards. I said, well, those cards used to lay around. Someone sent me 1,000 of those cards. I said I was working for a company, SciTech at the time, and they put it on there. I don't know. It didn't say IFBB Pro. I didn't give them out. I said they were just sitting on my account, and we used to come over and look at everything in my fucking house because you thought I had some kind of secret stuff that I wasn't sharing with you or something like that. I said, if anything, me, I portray myself as the underdog, the guy poor schnook who didn't get his pro card.
8 seconds and thirds.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you should put up your routine on the show. How killer that routine was!
Oh yeah.
When you
demonetize us.
when you posed to.
Oh, I did the Hulk skit. Yeah.
But before that, what was it? The Godfather music.
Oh yeah, there was. For some reason on USA Muscle, where I got it from, they split up the clips. They didn't put the whole routine up. It was like in 2 clips. Let me see if I can play it. Hold on. Maybe I can put it up here.
And put it up, Dave, because you look crazy there. And it's a very entertaining routine.
All right, here we go. This was the beginning of it. Can you hear it?
I can't.
Oh, hold on, let me see.
You're walking like Vince Taylor. I hope you gave him a residual on that.
Yeah, I got to see if I can get the sound of that too. How do I do that?
But just to clarify, you're an amateur here, not a pro.
That's right.
You look like a pro.
I didn't win my pro card there either.
Conditioning's pro level, and you made the money of a pro.
Yeah. Well, if you talk about what a generic professional in any sport or any industry is, I guess if you make money, you're a professional. So in that sense, I definitely made money. A lot of people don't realize, that if you don't earn a living, then you're really not a professional. Now, if you have IFBB professional status, that's different. That means you qualified, you won your pro card, but that doesn't mean that you're a pro in the sense that you're an IFBB pro in status. But if you don't make any money, you're really not a professional. If that's not your profession, that's what I do.
By the way,
I don't take away anything from anyone.
Besides putting up that video, I want you to put up that video and see. Even if people can't see it, hear it, they can still see it.
Oops, hold on.
I said, that's the one you look like Kai in the face.
Yeah. All right, here we go. You hear that?
Yep.
Probably get demonetized.
Stop right there. Dave Palumbo, this is your conscience speaking. How are you going to persuade the judges to grant you that ever-elusive first place prize.
I'm gonna make an offer, Candy.
All right, I'll cut that up there so they don't demonetize us here. This is the other part of the routine that they didn't show.
The Laverne action there, right?
This is Melvin.
Look at those glue stains. Christmas tree.
Hi.
What was your weight here?
I weigh 265 or 268, I think. So that was my USA routine from 2003. When I should have won.
I wanted you to, at a future show maybe,
be
Dave Palumbo, the journalist.
Oh yeah, you told me.
Interviewing Dave Palumbo, the bodybuilder, coming off stage. Dave, you just got second for the 4th time in a row. You're not a pro bodybuilder. How do you feel? What type of answer would you give? What would you give in that day?
I don't know. Oh, there we go. There wasn't ever a show where I was like so disheartened, like where I couldn't go out and have a good time afterwards. That was the one show. I didn't go anywhere. I stayed in the hotel room, ordered some food. I was just like really like I thought that was it. You know how like when I always knew that I always had this feeling like I was never going to get the pro card. Like I knew I am not going to win this time. I just know it. There's no way they're going to give it to me. That one was like, you know, I was so mentally ready to win. And I really thought, you know what? I think I did it. I think I pulled it off. A lot of people were telling me, you know, when you got like Melvin Anthony and, you know, Chris Cormier and Rico, when those guys are coming up to you and say, you know what, you got it, man. This is yours. I was like, you know what? They're not going to lie to me because they don't give me compliments, you know, ever, you know, unless I really deserve it. So I said, I think I got it. You know, and I had placed second at the Nationals, like to Tony Freeman, which is another one that a lot of guys thought, you know, could have gone either way. But I think I might have been better here. I don't know. So I thought, you know what? I was second. Now I'm going to come in here. Chris Cook was off. That was the first time he did it. But they were filming a documentary about him, which was making me very nervous because the camera crews were backstage, which they never allow, right? And I said, oh, I hope I don't become a victim to this stupid documentary that they're making about him.
And you were.
And he didn't even get the pro card. He won the class, but they didn't give him a pro card because they only were giving 2 out at the time.
Who won the overall that year?
That's a good question.
2003. Get John Hansen on the phone.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know. You were probably there. 2003. Yeah. Were you in the show?
2003. No, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I was in I don't know. Where was the show? Atlanta? I was in Atlanta for a long time.
No, it was Vegas. It was USA.
No. And don't forget, I sent you that picture. Finally, someone sent it to me of Victor Terra when he was 17. I think he was 17.
Oh, yeah. He was a freak.
When he won. I've been asking on this show if anyone has a picture, anything of Victor Terra when he won the Teenage USA as a lightweight. He won the overall because I thought maybe he could win the men's overall there. Just from pictures that I'd seen. And someone sent me a picture of him. I sent it to you. And
that was Richard Jones when he won.
Oh yeah, Richard Jones, yeah.
And Mike Dragon won the heavyweights, and they gave him the second pro card.
Yeah, they were both good.
Yeah, no, those were the years when guys were good. I mean, Chris Cook beat me. I beat, you know, Eric Fromm was third. He was great.
Yeah, very good. Yep.
Alan Grimes was fourth. Omar Decker. You know, guys all who got pro cards. You know, but Rich Piano was 11th at that show. Big Sean Allen was in that lineup. Big Sean Allen. Unbelievable. Lionel Brown was the second in the heavyweights there. Daryl Terrell. Abbas Katami. All these guys turned pro.
Maybe I was there. Yeah. Terrell was there.
Skip LaCour. David Hughes. That was a good lineup. Petey Devers was 15th. Probably in terrible shape, I'm sure. He went out to be a good pro, you know, so.
PD gave me I just thought of PD. It's so funny you say that, Dave.
Put it this way,
Yes.
Mark Dugdale was 3rd in the light heavies. That's how good the class was, and Ergus was 5th. So, I mean, those are 2 great guys who became really good pros. Yeah.
PD gave me a onesie for my 16-year-old. He wore it. My 14-year-old wore it. My 6-year-old wore it. And just the other day, my 1-year-old wore it.
Wow.
And I took a picture of that and I sent it to Gail.
Poor PD, may he rest in peace. Another poor guy we lost too young. What did Gail say when you sent it?
I no response. Yeah, no response. But
Olympic gold medalist in the hurdles.
Yeah, many time gold medalist.
Yeah. I had her on the show. Remember? Did you get her from me, or did PD get her from me?
No, PD.
Oh,
I'm sure.
Yeah, she was a great interview too.
Yeah, she's still doing stuff.
Yeah, she's still in good shape too.
Yeah.
That family got blessed with some great athletic genetics, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, I told you the story, right? How PD, how Gail, she was like a 5-year-old or something. He was like, whatever. The brothers, it was a big family. They're all older, and they said, "Let's go out and have a race."
And she beat
and she beat everyone. She was like 5 or 6.
Wow.
And they go like, "Oh, you might have something here."
Is that really the truth?
Yeah, that's the truth. Well, she used to be able to beat like the brothers who are like PD and who was much older and other,
And PD probably was no slouch. He probably was fast, I'm sure,
Yeah.
It's crazy. She was that crazy fast, huh? That's just that's why when people start saying like performance enhancing drugs, I'm like, poo. You know what? If there were no performance enhancing drugs, the same, like especially in athletics, I believe a lot of the same athletes would still be the same champions.
Well, people always ask me all the time, how do I know if I have great genetics? I said, you would already know. You wouldn't even have to ask the question. Like you'd be in the gym 6 months and you'd be, training.
It's like your kids when they don't even practice and they go and they win like the state championship,
Yeah, so
that's genetics.
Whether it be speed or ability to build muscle.
Right. But then you have you have the person who's the works harder than everyone, and he'll win a couple of times too. But that guy doesn't have the genetics. He's got the work ethic. So you combine the work ethic with the genetics, and you get Usain Bolt and Carl Lewis and people like that. That's where you get the Ronnie Coleman's. That's an unstoppable force right there.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, you don't usually get those two. If it comes too easy to people, they don't work that hard.
You're absolutely right.
Why would you, right? Why would you? It doesn't pay.
100% right. Well, we say it all the time. How many people ask me, Dave, how many people have we seen come and go who we say, well, he could be top 10 in Olympia easy in a couple of years. Right. And then they don't even win the nationals. They just, they try it a couple times.
How about Big Ramy?
Well, we've been talking about it since 2013. Yeah. 2013. Nine coaches.
7 years. Can you believe it's been almost we're going on 8 years? This guy we said could win the Olympia. So that just tells you.
There you go.
All right, we're gonna have there was a gym up by your area there, Oxford gym in Massachusetts that was that's owned by a guy by the name of Dave Blondin, believe it or not. And Dave, I actually worked with him a couple of years ago. It's a really nice gym. I'm just looking for it's called Prime Fitness. Let me see if I can pull this story up here, Chris. He wanted to open the gym. And of course, Massachusetts is still on lockdown. So they basically, Chris, they actually locked the gym. They locked him out of the gym. First, they shut the power off. So he bought a generator and turned it back on himself. And then they actually came and they basically kicked him out and locked him out of the gym. And he's got like perishable. He's got like a really nice supplement store in there. And here he is right there. And he's facing $1,300 a day in mounting fines. And I mean, they're really breaking his balls. So I wanted to get him on the show. I'm going to get him to call in. Let me see if I can text him now. I want to find out what's going on with him, because I don't know what these people think.
Oh, he should shut it if they send him a check.
Well, he's going to sue them. I told him you should sue him. I said, how dare they? First of all, the landlord must have been the ones who let them in to lock the place down, right? I mean, how do you get locked out of your own gym?
Yeah.
It's messed up because you know what? This poor freaking guy just wants to make a living for himself.
What happened to US Uridel?
He stayed open. And he's still open. He won. I guess he.
Well, you can fly. The crazy thing is you can get on. I don't care. You can get on a plane. You can get on a plane and cough all you want, even though you have to wear a mask now.
What's up, Dave?
What's up, guys?
Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks.
All right, Dave. Tell us.
He looks like you look like a criminal. No wonder. End of story.
So I kind of gave the background to the story that but maybe you can give us some more details. So how long had you been closed since they shut down the whole thing because of the COVID?
I opened back up on May 18th.
Okay. Now, had any status changed, or what made you decide, okay, we're going to open up this day?
So we were closed for 10 weeks, and phase 1 was about to start, and he wasn't releasing any information. Mm-hmm. Woke up on a Sunday morning. I said, I'm done with this. I'm going to open up the gym, and I'm going to keep it to clients only and members, and then I went from there. So we were open a whole month, and no cases, nobody got sick, and everything kind of got back to normal.
Right. Okay, there we go. Did you have someone rat you out, you think? You think someone called the cops on you?
No, because nothing cop related. The cops are on our side.
Oh, they were. So when they came, what did they tell you? I mean, did they say you got to close the gym, No,
cops didn't come at all. It was just the Board of Health.
Oh, the Board of Health came. And what did they do? How did they get them to cut the power off to your place?
So that's another thing. So we I just filed 2 lawsuits, one with the electric company and one with the water company, because the order from the court was the town can shut those off.
Okay.
And hired third parties to do it, which now, puts them into the lawsuit.
So who came in and actually turned it off?
Mass Electric.
Wow. Without even being told by the town to do it.
Well, the town told them to do it, but the town's court order was for the town. But they put the pressure on the electric company to say that they, it's a court order. They have to do it.
So you went out and bought a generator, right?
So we got we had about 10 generators, a 5,000-gallon water tank, and then 2 porta potties.
I love it. That is fucking awesome. And how long did you last like that before they came back?
We didn't get to that point. By the time that point, the locksmith came, they changed all the locks, and that was it.
Then why didn't they do that to begin with? Why would they shut you down?
Because now they killed all my product. They killed all my frozen food.
Right. Yeah, because you have a big supplement store in there too.
Yeah.
And how many members do you have to that gym?
Gym, about 800.
And this is how you make your living, obviously.
Yeah, the gym I have 800, and we have the full store, and then I do nutrition coaching too. I have about 150 clients with that.
How much do you think you lost in the 10 weeks you were closed?
About 100,000.
Wow. How do they expect anyone who owns a business to actually survive taking a $100,000 hit?
Yeah.
Is that nuts, Chris?
It's insane. I mean, I've been saying since day one. I mean, did you apply for the PPP program?
Which I got. So that was a big thing with, I did the first 8 weeks. That covered those first 8 weeks. And then once the money was gone.
Yeah, you're on your own. You're swimming.
Yeah. What the hell,
Yeah. Dave, how many times did I say on the show? I said someone is going to restaurant, is just going to open and say, here's the middle finger. And people are going to, rally. Have people in the community rallied around you, or have they?
That's on Saturday.
What's that?
We did a protest on Saturday.
And how'd it go? I mean, what's that mean?
Good. We had hundreds of people there. We were all just kind of rallying in the road and, kind of getting support from everyone all over. News crews were there, so word got out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the problem is, of course, is just what you're saying. Once the PPP money runs out, you're dead in the water.
Right.
I mean, if you can't open, somebody, I've been saying from day one, then someone, good, you can't open, just write me a check, I'll stay closed.
Right.
That's the news story that they did on you. Did they come to the gym and do that story?
Yeah, I had every news crew there.
That's awesome. Isn't it how he can't even get in his own gym, Chris? Like, let's say he wants to go work out on his own. It's like, he can't even do that. That's the crazy thing. Like, it's your gym. I mean, God.
No.
Now your landlord's the one who let him in, right?
So the town tried to sue the landlord.
Yeah.
If they didn't comply with, the court order against me.
Right.
So they kind of put him into a position. He's an older guy. He doesn't want anything to do with it.
Right.
he just kind of, he kind of gave in and said we have to change the locks. So,
well, once he changed the locks on you and doesn't let you get in, how does he expect you to pay him rent?
That he'll be cool about. That he'll back down.
Well, okay, well, that's good.
He's cool. He's cool with that. Even when I was building the place, he was kind of laid back with rent,
Right.
renovated spots and whatnot.
It looks like an old warehouse, was it?
Yeah, it was an old mill building. So we're building it to the third floor now.
Wow.
Did you ask the landlord for no rent?
Yeah, that's going to be all set.
He said the landlord's pretty cool about that. That's at least good. But this is crazy. When are they supposed to open up in Massachusetts gyms? What?
They just pushed it back another week, so they're saying the earliest is July 6th.
No, well, that's not too bad. It's like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. So, but I mean, the point is, what do you shut me down for 2 weeks?
Now, yeah, right, exactly. They're going to go through all this trouble. What's the rule now once they do open? Do people have to wear masks? What's the rule in Massachusetts?
That's the whole thing. Is nothing is law. Everything is all recommendation. So
I see.
People can do whatever they please, and that's kind of the whole thing that I had said, and I explained that to people.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thinks it's a law, and you have to follow it, but it's right. Not.
So someone's got it into you. I'm telling you. So someone ratted you out because why all of a sudden? I guarantee there's other businesses open that they're not breaking balls on.
They're not as to the extent that I did. I opened to full capacity, not to full capacity. Obviously, I monitored it, but yeah, I mean, there was no way that I was going to do that quietly.
Right, but think about it. Even if you let like 20 people at a time in, they would have still shut you down. I'm telling you.
The whole thing is if I tried to do it quietly and I only let like 10, 15 people in, that's when I would have got ratted out. So I just went full back to just let everyone.
Yeah. That's great. And obviously people are going nuts. They want to train already. I mean, what's the big deal? I mean, at this point.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, not even just the capacity. I had to pull so many people out of shows and, all the shows.
What do you think about that? Do you think that we're going to see shows? Chris thinks that they're going to start canceling shows now.
Even later on, I don't know. It's hard to say. That some of the local promoters around here, some of the natural shows, some of those promoters, they wouldn't let go. They tried to kind of take some money back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were kind of saying, oh yeah, we're going to keep extending the date. We're going to extend the date, and then, last minute, we got to cancel the show.
Right. What do you think, Chris? Do you think we're going to have a season? I mean, there have been some shows, but very few.
I think the entire season is going to fall on the shoulders of the Tampa show, which is 6 weeks from now.
Well, that's a big outbreak now, yeah.
If they cancel it, then that could be the domino for a lot of shows.
Right.
And Tampa's an area, and Florida's an area, as you know, that's COVID is like growing, not shrinking.
Sure. What do you think is going to happen, Chris, with this whole? I mean, with the gyms. I mean, Dave is just one person.
We've seen
Uridell. We've seen a lot of people now. With these same problems that they're dealing with the towns. I don't know what the problem is.
It's the gyms, it's the restaurants. And the flip side is you can go into Target, you can go into Walmart.
Yeah.
What's happening, of course, is that the middle-class business owners getting destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody really has thought it through. And I mean, people don't really care. Legislators, Congress, the Senate. I mean, they've tried to do something. They rolled out something quick. PPP, it worked for people, but this 2-week period, I mean, if people can't open up, if something happens and they don't let people open up at full capacity very soon, his gym's going to go, restaurants in that area are going to go. They're all going to go out of business because, you still have the outstanding bills,
right?
Just to insure the place, the insurance, utilities. I mean, you got to sell a lot of product or a lot of memberships or a lot of food with 50% capacity in a restaurant to be able to just make your ends meet.
Yeah. And Dave, do you even what are you doing as far as memberships? When do you start charging? I mean, you got to feel, it's almost like you feel guilty about the whole thing, because
I froze them April 1st originally, but
you did?
I opened back up May 18th. I started back up again.
Unbelievable. That's just a crazy, crazy scenario.
Through the shutdown, I had my store open, but sales are limited. If gyms are closed, who's coming out to buy pre-workout and
Right. They want to go work out, and then they want to buy the pre-workout and then go work out.
Right. So.
Unbelievable. So what are you doing now? What's the game plan? Like, I mean, what do you do? Like, you must be going nuts every day. If I woke up and I had my gym was locked, I mean, how do you prepare for, like, you know, for anything at this point? Are you just?
So it's only been a couple of days. They locked it Thursday, so you know it's crazy for me to think. You know, I made it through today. Today was fine, but to wake up tomorrow and to think that I can't go to my own office,
it's nuts, right?
It's like I can't. It makes no sense. So we filed for an injunction. So hopefully we'll get that on Monday. We might be in court tomorrow. That's another thing. The courts that we're going through, everything is on the telephone. So we're not even in a courtroom. So for all I know, everybody's in the same room on the other party, you know.
When you opened up, Dave.
Oh, it is? You're not even. Yeah.
Yeah, when you opened and you let people know that you opened.
Yeah.
What was the membership's response? I mean, were people slow to come back to the gym? Did they have a fear of coming back, or did just people
piled in right away? And I turned down, like I said, it was only members, so I turned down hundreds of memberships.
There you go. That's amazing.
You know, but it's one of those things where it's like I'm not going to let these people off the street come in that, hey, you want to use my gym for a month, and then you're going to go back to your other gym.
Yeah.
You know, but the members that have been there for me, I'm going to let them back.
Right, right. Well, you know what? I'm glad you took a stance, because you know what? More people need to do that. If all the gym owners did that, they can't shut everyone down.
So I don't know if you saw my original video. That's what I originally called for. I called upon all gyms in Massachusetts to open with me, and I had one gym followed me.
Well, they're all pussies. Let's face it. I mean, that's everyone's afraid of the shut. Oh, yeah, you go do it. Let's see if he gets away with it. If he gets away with it, then we'll open the doors. But everyone else that's typical. You know, it's like you go to a fight. All right, everyone's got my back, and then you turn around, there's no one there. You know, there's one. The skinniest kid is behind you, ready to fight. You know.
You know, it's so funny. If you didn't pay your rent for 6 months and your landlord cut your power off, he'd be in jail.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. We're gonna fire back. I'll countersue the town, and we're gonna get all these losses back.
Yeah, no, I hope you do. I just wanted to show some solidarity here. That's why I wanted to get on the show. Obviously, we worked together a number of years ago, but you know, it's good. I like to see guys doing well and then having their own gyms and supplements. So I mean, you got multiple streams of income. You're living the dream, so to speak, and then all of a sudden, you know, someone cuts your balls off, and they're like, you know what, we're just going to put you out of business so that you lose everything that you worked the last, you know, how many years on building. And to me, that's just bullshit. I mean, you can't do that. If people don't want to go to the gym because they're afraid of getting COVID, then they won't go to the gym. I don't understand why they got to shut you down.
Yeah, that's what I said. That people are voluntarily walking through the doors. I'm not shoving them through the doors to walk through.
You're not putting a gun on them. What the fuck is going on? What is wrong with these people? Well, I want to thank you for stopping by. And is there any something that people can do to, you know?
So we have a GoFundMe page going up. It's on reopening gyms.
Cool.
Any help is greatly appreciated.
Give us the page.
GoFundMe.com/reopening-gyms.
Okay.
Did you see, Dave, where they tried to shut down Elon Musk?
No.
In California.
Oh yeah, he said "fuck you." Yeah, basically.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, good, we'll move it to Texas." They said, "Okay, you can open."
That's what I'm going to do in the town of Oxford. I'm just going to say I'm going to get up and move. I'll find it.
That's funny.
That's why I brought it up.
It's nice when you have that much power that you can actually tell them, you know what, I'm going to move my company, and they're like, I'm
the biggest small business in the town. So for all they have little tattoo parlors. They have all the little things. So
you raised a lot of money already. Wow.
Yeah, we're doing good so far.
There it is. If you guys want to check it out.
Anything that we don't pay towards fines or legal fees or anything that we're going to donate to a mental health facility.
Oh, good. I know a couple mentally ill patients that would benefit from that in this industry. No, but you know what? I like to see that you guys are doing some great stuff. First of all, I wanted to commend you on your color scheme. It really fits my species nutrition line very well. I like the green. Yeah. Prime Fitness, guys. Once it's reopened, check it out. And you're in what part of Massachusetts?
Worcester County.
Oh, Worcester. Okay. Yeah. That's Jay's backyard, isn't it?
Yep. Yep.
Where is it? Oxford or
Oxford, yeah, right outside of Worcester.
I know that, you know what? When I used to come down to see Jay, the sign would say 290 Oxford, right?
Yep.
Well done. What was that? What was the gym in Worcester that was that with the red carpet, Chris? Remember they had a gym with red carpet? Was it a Powerhouse or World?
I just remember
the whole gym was red carpeted.
Jay would remember.
Well, I think it was like a World Gym or something like that. I remember I guest posed down there. I went and worked out at that gym, and that was like everyone knew that gym. It was in that area somewhere.
Like an old mill building kind of gym, old school.
Now that was Vinny Greco's gym, right? You're talking about? Remember his gym?
I remember
Jim.
Bay State.
Oh, Bay State. Gosh, talk about an old gym. I remember that gym.
I went to the two gyms I went to was the red carpet gym, and then I went to the Vinny Greco had that Powerhouse gym. I don't know if that was that might have been Rhode Island it was in. I'm not sure where Vinny's gym was, but I guest posed for him over there. So it was a huge warehouse he had too. He had he had like a 100-foot picture of Monterazzo on the wall and DeMeo, because I guess they had trained there before, and it was a nice gym. I think Vinny passed too. Yeah, he used to promote shows in that area back in the day as well. That was before your time, Dave, though. Well, anyway, guys, if you want to show some support, go to GoFundMe, reopening gyms, donate a little money. We got to support the small gym owners of this country that really are the backbone of the bodybuilding industry. Dave, thank you so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
And good luck, man.
Take care.
Take care. All right, that was Dave Blondin, and hopefully, he'll get that gym open and he won't lose that business, because I hate to see people who pour all their passion, Chris, and all their energy into making a business for themselves, and then people try to just pull the rug out from underneath them. Terrible.
Yeah, he's organized. He's not taking any crap. Right now, the generators, the porta potties, the water tank.
Yeah, I love it. And he didn't even get a chance to use it. They anticipated his. They counterpunched him right there. Now, Chris, you sent me a great story about. Let me see if I can pull this up. About climate change. And Chris and I are obsessed with Guinness Book of World Records. So there's a new record as far as the greatest fluctuations.
Dave froze, everybody. Dave, I'm going? You froze. You're melting. Let's see if he comes back. He'll blame it on my internet. See, Aceto's up in Maine, and he's got like dial-up. Hey, Dave.
All right, there I am.
Oh, I see two of you on the screen.
There I don't know what the hell happened here.
I said Palumbo will blame the main dial-up internet, even though it's his.
Yeah, I don't know I don't think my internet is working well, man. I only pay $1,000 a month for internet. You think that I would have
the whole neighborhood has to save you. I mean, it has to thank you for getting internet in that area.
That's right.
I remember that story. Yeah, climate change.
Okay, so this town in the Arctic Circle, which is the highest, I guess you could say, at the top of the globe, so to speak, has set a record, Guinness Book of World Record too, to that matter, for the greatest fluctuation in temperature. So they had a 100-degree day today, and their low, I think, record low is what, 68 degrees. So that fluctuation is a Guinness Book of World Records for the most extreme temperature range. Imagine that.
You want to know crazy? Me and Paul DeMeo, after he won the Nationals, went out on my boat in Maine.
Yeah.
We left and it was 95 degrees. We came back and it was, I think it dropped 45 degrees in 2.5 hours.
Wow.
It was the record. It was I think it was an American record for quickest temperature change in like crazy. 4 hours. We were freezing.
But think about it. I mean, first of all, I always wonder, why does anyone want to live like in a place like that? This is in Moscow. I don't know why anyone in their right mind would live there, but I guess maybe sometimes you're
born there.
Yeah, you're born there and you get used to it. That's why, like I always said, why the fuck did I live in New York for so long? Why didn't I move down to Florida? But I didn't know any better. I just got used to it, I guess.
Yeah, you're born there. You enjoyed it when you were there, though, right? You enjoyed New York. I
did. No, but the weather wasn't that extreme. If it was minus 68 degrees in the winter, and then that would have been enough of a reason for me to leave. Well, they're so high up on the globe that they have these temperature extremes because either they're really close to the sun or they're really, really far away from the sun. There's no in between. I believe that they have like crazy daylight. Like, so either it's light all the time there, or it's dark all the time. You know?
Yeah, like Alaska.
Yeah, it's worse because they're higher up than Alaska. They're more northern.
True.
Think about that. So speaking of world records, Chris was talking about Guinness Book of World Records. Greg Valentino was in the Guinness Book of World Records for a while. Did you know that?
Yeah, he was in there for biggest partying bodybuilder.
No.
Oh. Biggest arms.
He had the biggest arms at one point, I guess.
Biggest Jimmy arms. See, they left out the Jimmy word in.
Yeah, I don't think at the time I don't think it mattered. Like, I don't think anyone cared. Like, there wasn't like 100 people like Greg like out there. Nowadays you get these. Greg really had muscle on him too. Nowadays you get these like skinny guys that have like no muscle and they just have these balloons. Like,
Greg loved having those arms, dude, huh?
He must have if he kept doing it, right?
He must have been stopped 24/7 everywhere he went.
Oh, I'm sure. He had 28-inch arms, they said. And I guess, a lot of what Guinness Book of World Records is you got to contact them, and then they decide if it's a record worthy of them like covering. Because there's a lot of the records in there are ridiculous. You remember back in the day, right? I mean, it's like people who grow their fingernails like the longest, like
mustache.
Blackman should have grown that mustache, that little twirly twirl.
fattest identical twins, right?
Yeah, you remember those two guys who were on the motorcycles? Those two twins. What were they, like 600 pounds each or something like that?
Yeah.
Remember those guys?
Most of it was, I hear that most of it was just water, but
yeah, they just needed a diuretic.
Yeah.
What other ones was there?
They had.
They used to have the tallest. I remember the one I went to immediately was the tallest guy. That was always the one you go to first, right?
Yeah, because it had the pictures. Then the smallest little guy, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. They had the little miniature person from what were they from? Like they were always all the weird people were always from like India, like these weird countries like that, like
Eastern Europe or India.
Where they dug these people up, I have no idea. Like they have a website now. Like they even tell you how to, if you want to like break a record or something like that.
Longest ping pong game.
Yeah. They get the fingernail guy. Pele, most wins in a FIFA World Cup by a player. Do you know what the tallest building is?
Which year?
Right now.
Is it the Burj? I don't know. Is it the Burj?
Burj Khalifa, yeah. Hold on, let me see if I pull this up here. All right, hold on. The Burj. Did you ever go up in the Burj?
No, years ago. Yeah. When we went, the year that they had a show there. Yeah. Remember when they had the show there? They didn't have an auditorium. We got there and they had no auditorium.
Oh, that's right. I sent you there that time. Yeah, they didn't have an auditorium. I ate outside the Burj like for 5 nights in a row. I mean, because that's where the Dubai Mall is, which is the biggest mall I think in the world, where the big Shark Tank is. And literally, I had like 3 or 4 different people take me out to eat there, and we went back to the same with different restaurants, but we were in the same vicinity. And the Burj was like the backdrop of all the meals we had, pretty much. They had a light show there on the Burj. Pretty cool. Definitely a cool looking place. Let me see what other records.
Who's in there for the biggest cheat meal?
I think I have that record.
Oh, the one when you couldn't get in the car, right? At the sushi sushi place?
That's right. You remember. That's very good. Remember this one?
How many pieces did you eat? What's your record? 200?
It had to be at least. Oh, you remember this woman? Hold on. Let me pull this up.
Those people went bankrupt. They didn't even have to have the health department shut them down. They lost money.
That's right. That's right. Remember this woman? Longest fingernails?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was a popular. Oh, this is a new one. I think she's newer. I always wondered, how the fuck do you wipe your ass when you have those fingernails?
You probably have someone do it for you.
I don't know. She's not a bad-looking woman. She's a little older, but she probably can find a few people to do it. She says that for some reason she felt protected by her fingernails as they formed a shield around her. That shield cracked in 2009. She was a passenger in an SUV when it lost control and slammed into the side of another vehicle.
The fingernails went flying off?
I guess the nails cracked. Losing my fingernails has been the most dramatic thing that happened in my life. I think it was my grandson that said, "Grandma, they're like your baby. You've taken care of them for 30 years and lost them in a second." Look at that other freak with the fingernails. At least her fingernails kind of like are shaped normal. The other freak, he's got like the twisty, twirly ones. Those are scary looking, the twisty ones.
Yeah, how do you do anything? How do you eat? How do you brush your teeth? How do you do cable crossovers?
Maybe like imagine you go into the gym with her. Unbelievable, right? At 76 years old, she's now retired and spends a great deal of time with her family, which now includes a lot of grandchildren, great-grandchildren. They measure 29 feet. How crazy is that? 29 feet, 8 inches. Oh, no, wait, that's a different person.
Yeah, I didn't like when I was a kid, the guy with the longest mustache, because there wasn't a mustache. It stretched out, remember?
Yeah. You remember all that, Chris?
I remember the lady who had a baby when she was 63.
That was a big deal back then. Nowadays, it's not even that crazy, right?
Yeah. Well, but because they didn't have all the drugs. I mean, it was just natural. You know, she was she had eggs, and she was, you know.
Right. I'd like to see the youngest, right? Hold on, this is a good one. You're gonna love this picture. Then I'll start talking some bodybuilding after this because. All right. Remember this guy, Chris?
Oh well, I knew that's the tallest guy. Yeah. He had glasses. Yeah. What was he? 7'10" or something?
Robert Wadlow. No, he was in the
8'4", right? Let's
see if you're right.
8'4". I can remember now. 8'4", Dave.
The Alton Giant was then buried in. He died he was only 22. Robert's legs caused his premature death. Hold on. Trying to find how tall he was. I thought he was like 8'11" or something like that, but
look at that.
He was 5'11" at 8 years old. Oh my God. How funny is that? His parents were normal size too. 8'11.1 inches. Ha ha.
Really?
Chris,
Wow.
how's that for a memory?
8'11". Gosh.
When last measured on June 27, 1940, the mild-mannered American stretched a staggering 8'11.1 inches.
It's a stereotype, but he could have made millions in the NBA, literally.
Oh my God. Or in the WWE. Probably would have made more.
Where was he from? U.S. or Germany?
No, I think he's United States. He was, American. Crazy, right? He was 5'4" at age 5. Oh my God. He actually toured with Ringling Brothers Circus. Imagine the bed they had to build for this guy. Where the hell did he sleep?
How did he get into a car? He probably couldn't.
He also boasted the largest hand ever at 12.7 inches from the wrist to the tip of his middle finger. And he had the largest feet too ever, even beating my foot size. He had a whopping 18.5 foot.
Yeah, he had high GH levels, and so did you.
He was a United States size. So if he was, the size sneaker he wore was a 37 AA. He must have had very narrow feet. Yeah. That must have sucked he had to have shoes made. I mean, nowadays they would have stopped all that growth because they would have operated on him and fixed his pituitary. Crazy. You know, he didn't look bad either. Now some of these giants have that like acromegalic look.
Yeah.
He looked normal. He just was fucking crazy tall. I'm sure if he would have lived though, he probably would have gotten the acromegaly going on. That's nuts. I mean, he was really tall. Who's this guy? Look at this guy. Is he maybe the Is that the same guy?
No, that's a different guy. Maybe it's the new version. Maybe it's the tallest man alive. Maybe.
Oh yeah, the guy who's currently the tallest is Sultan Kosin, who currently stands 8 foot 2.8 inches tall.
Well, maybe he should get in the WWE.
I hear he wants to be a bodybuilder. Would you work with him, Chris?
Sure.
George told him he'd make him Mr. Olympia.
How many grams of protein per pound of body weight? Ask.
You got to eat 2,000 grams of protein a day. Get this guy to grow. Oh my God. How funny. Yeah, I like the freaks like that. That's why we're attracted to bodybuilders, right? Bodybuilding and everything like that, because it's a whole freak show.
Yeah, it is a freak show. That's what our favorite, you know what? Everyone loves to say he's freaky, right?
Yeah. Well, only in bodybuilding is that a compliment, right?
Yeah.
Any other thing you say is a freak, they would like say, what are you insulting me for?
Yeah.
Speaking of freaks, look at Victor Martinez. Look how good he looks these days.
Yeah.
He's got to be what, late 40s too?
I think he's 46 or 48.
Yeah. He's up there in age. He still looks great. And think about all the things that happened to him. From breaking his arm, tore his patella tendon, he was in jail. Remember when he with the green card incident? And he still looks great, and he's still working for MHP. He's got to be I think he may have the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest contract ever with a single company.
Yeah, him or Craig Richardson. I think Craig Richardson since he was a teenager.
Yeah, even before Victor.
I don't know. Craig's been with him forever.
Wow. Yeah, but Victor I think Victor probably makes a lot more money than Craig does. Craig doesn't even compete, does he anymore? Once a year he pops out of the woodwork and somehow qualifies for the Olympia. That's with his crazy genetics. He goes from being like a regular person to like he's ready for the Olympia. You know? He
may be in the bodybuilding Guinness Book for passing up the Olympia. Remember, he won a show 2 years ago when he said, "I'm not going to the Olympia." Oh, did he really? Yeah, I could see Craig doing that. Craig's into his family. He doesn't care. He kind of does the bodybuilding just for shits and giggles. He's a classic guy who's got freaky genetics and probably doesn't. He works hard, but if he ever worked like Ronnie Coleman hard, he probably would have been on the Olympia stage, top 3, at the Olympia year after year after year. Wouldn't you say? Well, he's been on the Olympia stage and been overlooked to the 212. That's for damn sure.
No, he definitely was. But I think that, when I saw him win the teen nationals, I said, this guy's going to be, if he's not Mr. Olympia, he's going to be on the Olympia stage, top 3. You know who was in the teen nationals when he was? Who? Jose Raymond. Really? Wow. I think probably a bantamweight. Also, I'm not sure if Farnsworth was too. Oh, that's funny. Same year? I know Jose was. Wow. What was Jose, like a lightweight or like a bantamweight? Light. I think it was lightweight. They didn't have bantam at the time. Oh, okay. That's funny. Did he win his class? Of course. Of course. I think Craig beat him for the overall. I think that's really? Yeah. That's how long they've known each other. That's a good story. That's a really good story. There's been so many great teen national champions that went on to crazy things. Now, the Victor Terra picture of. You got to get that up. Oh, I've been asking people from this show, send me a picture. I've been asking for like 4 years, and someone sent it. and I sent it to you. I know. I got to find it. Hold on. I texted it to you. Oh, you did? Yeah. Hold on. Crazy. While we're talking about, while I'm looking for that picture. Last week, people loved that we had Samir on. Oh, the last minute. That was a very last minute. Right. It was. And he thought we were going to not put it up because he's like, oh, I want to get on a regular interview with you guys. Right. You saw that? Yeah, that was a regular interview. What was that? That's a pop-up on our site. So I got Samir and I actually did a full-blown interview with him like a couple days later, and he was great. And I didn't go do his whole career. We just talked about the 82, 83, 84 Olympia. All the drama that you kind of gave me like a little bit of background on. It never ends. It was the greatest story. That the one picture he didn't sign was the judge who was sitting judging him for the Olympia. That's right. Did you think that Samir was better he thought he was better in 82 than 83, actually, even though he won in 83? He should have won in 82.
you look at pictures, he was phenomenal. And he came into his own big time in 82. And he ended up 4th. And then I think he should have won. I mean, I think he should have won 82. And of course, he won in 83.
Wow.
And then he had aldosterone problems with Weider after that.
Yeah, well, he told the Weider. He told the whole Weider story too about.
He did. I got to watch it then.
Yeah, it was. I'm shocked that you didn't watch it. You'll love it because he told the whole story about how they were using his pictures and they were to promote some product that Joe had, and that Joe was supposed to run, give him a page of advertising or something like that as part of the deal, which at the time was worth like $22,000 or something like that.
In 80s, 83.
Yeah, that's how expensive those pages were for advertising. And for 3 months in a row, they didn't run them in the magazine. He kept going back every month, and Joe was like, I put it in. I don't know why. And it was like someone, they didn't name the name, but it was someone who worked there, an editor, who had it in for him and didn't like him. And he had the ability to say, oh, there's a mistake in the ad, don't run it.
Samir didn't tell you who it was?
No, he didn't. He was going to tell me off camera, but I think he forgot. Do you know who it was?
Well, it could have only been Bill Reynolds or
Ricky Wayne.
Let's see, 83. I don't think Rick Wayne was running. I think it was Bill, or I don't know, Dave. I shouldn't say Bill Reynolds because I don't know. Maybe it was either. I thought Rick Wayne was out of the picture by then.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought he mentioned something about Rick Wayne, but
Rick Wayne was a phenomenal writer.
Was he really?
Oh gosh.
So why did they get rid of him? Did they have a problem with him?
No, he went and started a newspaper in St. Lucia, where he's from.
Oh.
And he just walked away from bodybuilding. I don't know why, but he was, a superlative writer. Probably, in my mind, the best there ever was.
Why do you say that? What would, in your definition, make a great writer?
Because, okay, you know how I always compliment you when you're on your A game in terms of interviewing people when they come off stage, or interviewing people when you have a huge interest in getting that person's story out. Not, okay, what did you do for chest, shoulders, and arms?
Mm-hmm.
But, tell us the background to your life. He would always intertwine in his stories of contest coverage or the stories of the features of a bodybuilder what made them tick. Not like, well, I get my motivation from looking at pictures of Arnold. What makes you tick? And it's usually something deep. And Rick Wayne had the ability to pull that out of people. And Rick was a phenomenal bodybuilder himself.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. I don't know a lot about Rick Wayne at all.
Rick Wayne, Google his physique. His physique was off the hook. And he gave that up to write for Joe. His contest coverage was amazing. It would not be like, the first call out was these guys. He'd start with talking about, Dave Palumbo started his prep 16 weeks ago. He had a car crash. His father got sick. He'd go into all the depth.
Right.
Things that you didn't think were important, but they were important to that person, and they affected the way he looked on stage.
Interesting. Huh.
One of the biggest losses ever for bodybuilding was to lose Rick Wayne as a writer.
See, you think you know things and then you don't. It's crazy.
Yeah. Second to him, probably in storytelling, is Peter McGough.
Yeah, Joe had a good staff of people. I'll give him that much. He knew how to find the. You know what it is, because there was no other game in town. It's like if you wanted to be the best, you had to go. You wrote for. You wrote for him. You went to Weider, and the bottom line is that Weider had the ability to pick the best people because where else are they going to go? There was no place else to go.
Muscle Mag.
I'm saying they go to one of the magazines, but if they wanted to be, there was only how many options even in magazines really. There wasn't that wasn't a lot of options. All right, I'm gonna put this. I'll put this on my. It's a terrible picture, by the way. It's very blurry.
I know. You got to find a Rick Wayne photo now. Now that I say his physique was off the hook, Dave.
Hold on for a second. Hold on.
See if you can find a Rick Wayne photo.
Right now, I'm working on getting this picture up with Victor Terra here because it's not so easy. There we go.
Rick Wayne.
All right, here, what do we got here? That's him, right? There's Victor Terra.
Yeah.
It's a very blurry picture, but that. And how old was he there? 17?
I think 17.
Wow. He was a freak.
If Rick Wayne is still alive, Dave, he's the interview you got to get.
I think he died. He died, Rick Wayne. I know for a fact he died a while ago.
Okay, I didn't know.
By the way, happy Father's Day. I forgot to mention that to you.
Thank you very much. So happy Father's Day to you.
What did you do for Father's Day? Anything?
I had a tremendous day. We had a big family breakfast, and then I played with my youngest in the backyard, and then we drove to the mountains in New Hampshire. And talk about COVID dead. I mean, the little stores and shops, motels, hotels it was a ghost town.
You think those places would be open because there's no one there, but
some of them were open, but there were just no customers. That's why I asked the guy.
It must have been depressing, right? Like a depressing.
It was stunning, Dave. Any other time in June in this town, coffee shops would be mobbed, ice cream shops mobbed, miniature golf, motels.
It's hot out now. Yeah. Really hot.
Victor Terra looks pretty damn impressive there at 17 or 18.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he came on the scene at 17 or 18 looking like that?
Wow. Forget about it. He'd kill it. He was short, though. He would have been a great 212 guy.
I think he was 5'2", 5'3".
He probably would have won the 212 Olympic, that guy.
Yeah, I would agree.
I
have the ability to, for sure.
Yeah. He didn't have any weaknesses, though, did he?
Calves.
Lonnie Teeper would have had a problem with that, probably, right?
Yeah. He would have jimmied him up, though.
He would have figured out a way, right? Yeah.
I just Googled a picture of Rick Wayne. He put in Rick Wayne bodybuilder. Stunning.
Yeah, no, I pulled it up. I'll pull something up here. He died. Hold on.
If the guy with the exploding,
maybe he didn't die. I thought he died. He did. I think he's alive still. 82 years old.
Is he 82? Wow.
Right? Because that's what it says here. It says on Wikipedia. I don't know who. Oh, Bill Reynolds died, right?
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking. Bill Reynolds. Maybe Rick Wayne would be a good interview.
If Greg Valentino could write like he could talk, then he could be a great writer. Right? He could be a great bodybuilding writer. Contest contest reports. Rick Wayne would be a tremendous interview. Very controversial.
I'd love to get him on.
What I mean by controversial, very opinionated. And Joe gave him a lot of flexibility to do whatever he wanted to do.
And why did he leave again?
I don't know. That's the $1 million question, because he could pound out the volume of articles like
look at that physique, Chris.
Ron Harris, but the substance would be like, he's like a morally safer meets Arnold meets Kai Green. Look at that physique, Dave. Come on.
Yeah.
What year is that?
I don't know.
Look at the side tricep if you can find a side tricep on him.
I'll see if I can. They got another picture of him. Hold on. Hey, what did he win? Did he win anything?
I think he won like one of these Mr. Worlds or something. He'll tell you that they dogged him.
Great abs. Yeah, great abs.
He had great everything. Great arms. Great shoulders.
No one had glutes back then. He had good structure too, good shape and everything like that. I bet he was probably the first black editor-in-chief, wouldn't you say, of a major magazine, a bodybuilding magazine?
Probably any. I mean, probably any. I'm guessing back in the time that he was an editor, there weren't many African American or black editors of major publications,
which shows how Joe is not,